Christina starts this hour off. She is in Nashville. Welcome to the EntreLeadership Podcast, Christina.
Thank you.
Sure. What's up?
So I have a business. My business is Your Happy House Cleaner. It's a residential cleaning company that I started 8 years ago because I needed to work around my kiddos' school hours. So it started off just me. But after a couple of years, I found some other moms who wanted part-time hours. So I had it built up to several teams and an office manager by 2021. Last year, our gross revenue was $128,000. I was actually up at your studio last week. I did my debt-free scream with my kiddos.
Wow.
And yes, and I had 3 years ago, I started that journey after my divorce. And after I got to the beginning of this year, I finally scaled way back. I stopped investing in hiring and growth. I took over roles of office manager and cleaner, and I paid off the last $20,000 of my debt. So last year I brought home 21% of the gross revenue, and this year I'm bringing home 46%, which has really helped speed up the process. So my question now is kind of just how to move forward. I built it up by investing in coaching groups and workshops and hiring more. And this year I totally stopped all that to just pile everything into debt. Mm-hmm. So I kind of have a two-part question. One, how long do I stay so strict with my money? I'm working on my personal emergency fund right now. So do I just need to finish that before hiring more, or also save some extra for business? And how do you know how much to? And then also, doing work and doing home life alone is really hard, and I miss some of the accountability I had when I had mentorship before. So is it okay to invest in some more accountability and growth now, or just hustle, keep my head down, and keep going?
Well, I think you cut back and artificially cut expenses really deep and put yourself back in the labor role 2 or 3 places to create cash flow, but that's not sustainable. That's a temporary move. Agreed?
Right. That's what I did in January of this year, and it's been a lot of work, but...
Yeah, and you don't want to do that for 5 years.
Off.
You don't want to do that for 5 years. That's what I mean. It's not sustainable. You can do it for a year. You can do it for 18 months, but you don't want to do that for 5 years. That's not a goal I want to do for 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, that kind of thing. That's what I mean by sustainable. So, yeah, you want to create a model that will run in perpetuation, that just runs out there into the future as far as you want it to. And so what I would start doing is, as a part of your profit and loss statement, I would set aside out of your profits a percentage of profits for training and development of you, coaching and mentorship, that kind of thing. Doesn't have to be much, just a little bit. Set aside a percentage of your profits for growth, and that's adding, starting to get the training going and get the people back on again, a little bit at a time. And then the rest of your profits come home. And I don't know what that percentage is, but I mean, let's just pretend, say you said, okay, I'm going to set aside 10% for 5% of my profits for investing in me. I'm going to set aside 15% for investing back into the business and getting people back on board, getting payroll going again, getting this thing built back up where it runs on its own steam instead of my steam. Get back out of the treadmill operator stage, back up into Pathfinder, which is where you were. And then if that's the case, that's 5 and 15 is 20. That means I'm taking home 80. Okay, if you use those numbers. I'm not sure those are the right numbers, but that's an example. And so what I would do then is each month when you do your profit and loss, you say, okay, I got X number of $1,000 of profit. Then I'm going to apply this formula and say, all right, 5% goes to me for my mentoring and training. 15% goes to growing the business and mentoring and training the new people coming on, building the business back up with the coaching stuff you were doing, all that. And then the rest of it's going home to finish up my emergency fund. It could be more than that staying in the business, by the way. It could be 10% to you, 20% to these other things, and then 70% comes home. I don't care what the percentages are. I just think you need to develop a formula so that you're on autopilot to do all of that at once. That would be my game plan if I were in your situation. Folks, you can also apply that formula to say I've got some debt, okay? I'm going to live on a living wage out of the business, and that's all. Then I'm going to put a percentage to retained earnings and the rest of it to debt until I knock the debt out.